I'm just reminding you, the only thing that you need other than your foam roller and your stretching strap or device is going to be a chair. We will sit in a chair at a couple of points and work on a stretch in the chair position. So have that nearby if you don't already. So we are going to get started, but before we do, I would just like to point out that we have somebody new today. Allison is joining us if everyone wants to give a wave. This is her first ever stretch and roll class. So thank you for joining us. So we're going to start in the way that we usually start, which is just a nice relaxing back roll. So we'll be having the foam roller perpendicular to your spine, and you're on your back on the mat and just rolling up and down. Now, place your fingers behind your head, kind of like a cradle. Interlock your fingers for your head and bring your elbows together. That's going to really open up your back as you roll up and down on the foam roller. The area we're going for here, so as far up as you want to go is to about where your neck starts to meet your shoulders, and then you can travel down your back about to where you feel like your last rib is. So just a few inches below your shoulder blades. You don't need to go all the way down your back. So we're just kind of rolling back and forth here. And you can stop at any points that feel like they need extra attention. And just kind of roll, arch your back up and back and forth over that spot. Okay, so today our class is called Headache Solutions. So we're going to focus on the muscles that are common contributors to headaches. Now, before we get started, I will say that there are literally hundreds of reasons why you could have a headache. Anything from hormonal to other reasons. So what we're focusing on today is just the muscle tension aspect of headaches. So if there is a headache that you have that has to do with muscle tension, this is some of the things we're doing today could help with that. All right. So you can keep rolling, but make sure to look at the screen because I'm going to show you a picture of the area that we're going to start working on. Okay, so if you take a look at this picture on the left, I've drawn a big red circle for you. This is called your occipital region. It's where the back of your skull ends, that bony area you can feel in the back of your skull. And that's a lot of what we're going to focus on today. And that dotted line right across is that drawn to be the base of your skull. So that general area is where we're going to be placing the foam roller to start with today. Now, let me show you. We're going to use this edge of the foam roller. So you're going to be lying on the mat, and you're going to have that edge right where I showed you on the picture, that big red circle, and just to one side. So we're going to start on the left side of your head. So you're going to be on the mat. Let's get on the mat. And you're placing that foam roller on the left occipital side of your head. And you don't want to do any extra pressure. You want it with all the stuff in the neck. Let's be very gentle. So just very gentle pressure. And I want you to slowly twist your head left to right, only an inch or so to the left and right. And what you should feel, this is the only time I'll tell you to kind of work on top of bone, because there's actually really important muscle attachments that happen right there in that occipital area. And honestly, when they get tight, it can cause a lot of headaches. So as you're taking some deep breaths and twisting your head left to right here, think about any areas you might be feeling. Like some areas might be feeling tighter than other areas along the base of your skull back here. We're going to come back to that. So kind of just be thinking about if, oh, like one area feels a little bit more tight than another. We're going to be looking specifically into some of those areas. Okay. Just twisting back and forth. You want to feel like the edge of that foam roller, just kind of right at that junction of the base of your skull and the neck muscles. So with any of this stuff, it should not be painful for you. If it is, please readjust the foam roller. You can push it a little bit down your neck a little bit if it feels like it's on any spot that is painful for you. It should feel like a good massage back here. All right, let's switch sides. So now let's put it on your right side. So the edge of that foam roller is still at the base of your skull, and you're twisting your head left and right. You're kind of traveling all the way to the edge of that bony part of your skull in the back, and then a little bit more towards the spine. So again, like I said, remember any areas back here that are feeling, if you feel like, there may not be, but if you feel like you've got a particular spot that feels more sensitive when you roll over it, we're going to zero in on that next. Okay, so what we're going to do, the same position that you just had, we're going to take it over to the left side. So we're still kind of in this area here in the back of the skull, still placing it. We're going to go back over to the left side, but now we're just going to find a spot that feels good to hang out in. And by feels good, it might be one of those spots I told you to remember. Remember if something feels sensitive. So we might be returning to a spot that we found previously. But we're just going to hang out and apply static pressure. So that means not moving. So get a spot. You may need to play around for a second and find a spot near the base of your skull that feels good to apply that not moving pressure to. If you're actually having headaches, sometimes when you do this, you can feel the headache pain shoot almost up into your head because you can tell how related it is to these muscles back here. And sometimes when I have clients that have headaches, this is usually the first place that I go, that's the base of the skull, and I hold the pressure here. And sometimes this is even enough to get headache relief. It's just applying gentle pressure like this on one spot that is particularly sensitive. A couple deep breaths. Okay. Switch sides. Now we're on the right side. So we're, again, putting the edge of that foam roller, finding any spot that feels good to keep constant pressure on with the edge of that foam roller. In the base of your skull there. And once you find it, hang out there. A couple deep breaths for me. Like I said today, even if you don't ever really have headaches, this is a great neck shoulder relaxer. Who hasn't had a stressful day lately, right? If you do even half of what we do today at the end of a stressful day, I guarantee you feel just a little bit less stressed and more relaxed. So benefit for everyone here. Okay. Now we're going to go into a stretch. So what we're going to do, the areas that you all just felt pressure on, we're going to work into stretching that. So get your chair. We're going to stretch the right side first. Have a seat in your chair. I'd like you to take your right hand and grab behind your chair. So grab more like behind the seat of your chair. loose grip, but just get your hand back there. And now you're going to take your left hand, place it behind your head, and just gently pull your chin into your chest. So this position, you should feel a stretch all the way from your shoulder, all the way up to the base of the skull, that occipital region we were just working in. And take a few deep breaths, breathing out. Really sink into this stretch. Feel your chin get even closer to your chest. And let's try the other side. So take your left hand, place it behind left side of the chair. Right hand goes behind your head. And again, you're bringing that chin into your chest with just some gentle pressure. If you have a really tight neck, you may not even need to pull your head. You may just need to tilt your chin into your chest. But some of you may like a little more of a stretch, so that's why I recommend the hand behind the head, pulling into that, pulling your chin into your chest, just a little bit there. Okay. All right. What about you? My neck's feeling looser already, right? We're not even halfway done yet. So I'm going to show you a picture again, different picture, what we're working on for the next part here. We're moving down the neck a little bit further. So you see this person here has their hand next to their spine. I'd like everybody to take their fingers and place them on top of the spine, just a frame of reference, so you can feel your spine, your vertebrae here, and then slide off to the right a little bit. So you feel when you can slide off your vertebrae that you're into like muscle right there, beside your spine. So that's what we're going to work in, where that person has their hand, where you have your hand right now, not on the spine, but off to the side. That's where the foam roller is going to end up for our next foam roller work. So again, we're going to be using this edge of the foam roller, and we're going to be placing it where you are just feeling. Now, about half of your foam roller is going to be on that part, that fleshy part where we're just feeling, and half of it's going to be up into that occipital region, but it's going to be out to the side like this. And you're going to be working into those muscles on the side of the spine. So let's start with the left side here. So you're lying on your back. You've got that foam roller. Take the edge of the foam roller just to the left of your spine. So you can feel, you need to feel with your hands again where you don't want to be on the spine. You want to be off to the left of it. So get position here. So part of the foam roller is on that occipital region, the base of your skull. Part of it is on that muscle beside your spine. And what you're going to do is just turn your head left to right in this position. Now, I was trying this yesterday. I have a longer foam roller like some of you have, and my foam roller was kind of slipping around everywhere. So if you're having that issue, just take your left hand, the back of your hand, and kind of rest it on your foam roller. And that's going to keep it from sliding out. But this should feel really good in those neck muscles. And again, we're not pressing ourselves into the foam roller. We're just letting gravity do the work as we twist our head from left to right here. And if you want, you can play with moving the foam roller down or up, just like a ½ inch. In other words, down more towards your shoulder blades or up more towards the tip of your head. But these muscles in the back of the neck are big culprits to headaches sometimes. And getting into these attachments at the base of the skull and getting into what we're getting into right now, more the belly of the muscle, can be so helpful in getting that tension headache to let go. Or just general tension from the day. So let's keep twisting our heads left to right. Go over that foam roller. Good. And let's take it to the other side. So now you're taking the edge of the foam roller just to the right of your spine there. Part of the foam roller is under that ridge of base of your skull, part of it's on that muscle next to your spine. And again, we are just looking left and right here. Just a reminder again, with pain, if you're having any pain with any of these, try moving the foam roller just a little bit up or down off that area that is painful for you. And anytime we have movement, like we're moving our head left to right now, maybe it feels better for you just to apply static pressure where you're not twisting your head left to right. That's completely fine. Not everyone has the same neck range of motion, the same neck issues coming into this. So sometimes you may need to just go more with a version that feels better to you rather than making it look exactly like what I'm doing. I'm giving you some guidelines on what you can do here to help release these muscles. So we're going to do this for a few more seconds. What we're going to do next is another chair stretch, but we'll be on the floor here for a little bit longer, looking into the side of the right side of your neck. We're going to work next on definitely the muscles you're feeling right now onto the foam roller, but also into some of the connections with the shoulder. So working into that shoulder neck connection. All right, so let's head over to the chair. And we're gonna just do an upper tract stretch. So right hand is placed under the chair. And then you're taking your left ear to your left shoulder. This may be enough of a stretch. If you feel like you want more stretch, take your left hand and place it on the right side of your head and apply some gentle pressure there. So this is going to feel like a stretch all along that right shoulder, should feel all the way up into the right neck a little bit too. Okay. And now left hand on the left side of the chair, and then your right ear, tilt it towards your right shoulder. You're still looking straight ahead. Extra pressure if you need it with that right hand on the left side of your head. Take a couple deep breaths here. It's amazing how easy it can be to forget to breathe, or at least breathe properly. Sometimes I know I find myself doing some shallow breathing, and it's important to just get some nice, full, intentional breaths here. Okay, so now we're going to work into what's called your Levator Scap. So now you're going to sit straight up and take that right hand again, grasping under the chair, and you're going to take your nose and point it towards your left armpit. Now take your left hand, place it behind your head, and gentle pulling that nose towards the left armpit. Similar stretch, right, to what we just felt, but you should be feeling a little bit more down your back, like into the scapula area. But these shoulder muscles definitely can contribute to headaches if they're tight. So we want to address these. Deep breath. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Grasp under the chair, twist your nose to your right armpit. With your right hand, place it behind your head and kind of gently pull your head towards your right armpit and your nose towards your right armpit. And this grasping under the chair isn't a death grip either. It's just enough to have a grip. So should be a grip, but a relaxed grip. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to the mat. And we're going to go back to those muscles alongside your spine, your cervical spine. So in that position again, with that foam roller, the edge against those muscles. Just a little bit of a hold on each side. So let's go the left side first. And we're finding one position that feels good and holding it still. And we're going to take a few deep breaths in and out and do the same thing on the right side. You can feel free to readjust if you feel like you're holding pressure on an area and it starts to relax and you want to move on to another area, but also feel free to just hang out here and enjoy some neck muscle relaxation from one constant point of pressure. Deep breath again. Okay. So now we're taking the edge of the foam roller to the right of the cervical spine. But part of it is on the base of the skull, part of it is on neck muscle. So find a spot that feels like a comfy spot to hang out in for a few seconds here. And we are just resting and deep breathing here. All right, so next we're going to sit up. You can just sit on your mat, or if it feels more comfortable to sit on the chair, doesn't matter. We're going to do another stretch for your back of your neck. So you're going to interlace your fingers. The first part of this is interlacing your fingers and pressing them away from your body. So you're kind of trying to press your hands away from your body. And then you're going to drop your chin to your chest. And that's the stretch. And the magic part of this is that pressing those hands away from your body, that puts your shoulder blades in what's called a protracted position. So it really helps get, as you can feel, as you drop your chin to your chest, the stretch is not just in your back of your neck, but it goes down into your shoulders as well. Right, this is one of those nice portable stretches. I've been known to do this even in the grocery store. Honestly, this is something that gets tight on me a lot. But you can, at your desk at work, wherever, you can just pop this one out, push those hands out in front of you, drop your chin, and that feels good. Okay. One final thing here. We're going to do a little massage with the hands and in combination with the foam roller. So I'd like everyone to touch above their eyebrows towards their nose. Okay, so we're going to trace above your eyebrows, and then you should start to feel as you get to the edge like you're kind of coming off of a little bony area. That area is kind of your temple in there, and you want to massage not below that bony area. That doesn't feel too great, but right in that bony area with just 2 or 3 fingertips around like that. So we're going to be doing this kind of slowly above the eyebrows and then getting to that temple area and massaging. We're going to be doing that in combination with a nice back of the neck stretch on the foam roller. So it'll be a nice way to finish us off here. So for the foam roller, it's going to be, just to show you, like this. You're just going to be resting it on the base of your skull. And it's kind of like that chin to chest stretch that we were just doing. That's the whole point of this part. You're just hanging out here with your chin to your chest. If you're having a problem with your foam roller scooting out from underneath of you, you can stick it up against like a chair or something. But first things first, just get in that position where you feel a little bit of a stretch. Doesn't have to be an intense stretch. Just a little bit of a stretch because your chin is moving down towards your chest. And the foam roller is holding your neck in that position. So once you find yourself comfortable in that spot, then is when we want to start with that. Taking those fingers and pressing and dragging from your eyebrows out to the side, and then finding that area in the temple to make a few circles with your fingers. And let's just take a minute here. I'm not going to talk for a whole minute. We're just going to go out along those eyebrows and then out to the side for a few circles and really do some deep breathing here and relax. All right. Okay. And that is it. Hope everyone is feeling a little bit more relaxed in the neck and shoulders. You have some tools if you need them for a little headache help in the future. Next stretch and roll is going to be on Saturday, and we're going to be going over low back then Saturday at 9:30. So I hope to see you there. Have a good day, everyone.